We have Microsoft out with its earnings report. Dan Halley, what do you have?
That's right, Shauna. Microsoft with a miss here on their report. They missed on not just revenue, which came in at $51.9 billion versus estimates of $52.45 billion, but also on earnings per share.
Hey, this is Al from Transformational Gaming. Appreciate you coming by. Appreciate you coming to the channel. Today, I would like to talk about Microsoft. Microsoft missing earnings. Some of you guys may not find this very appealing or thinking I'm trying to troll or whatever, but I actually wanted to make this video to make a point. Before we really get into it, thank you guys for coming by and subscribing. The subscriber has been off the chain. The watch time has been very good, and you guys have been so supportive. So appreciate that. Hopefully we can keep that up. But I didn't want to make this video too long. I just want to kind of instantiate my points yesterday when I made a video about Sony. And it just so happens that Microsoft had an earnings call, which I knew was probably going to be bad, but the video was about Sony. So I'm not sure exactly how Sony and the Japanese do their stocks, but either way, I know if Sony was in America, they would probably come under the same scrutiny and the same problems because, again, I just want to instantiate my point that, man, it is tough out here, man. It is rough, and the economy is definitely slowing down. However, people are still able to purchase things, man, and it's crazy because even though the economy is slowing down, it's not slowing things down fast enough. And some may ask, how do you know? Well, they just raised rates again today. And when you raise rates, you're obviously trying to slow the economy down. And so people are still out there buying stuff, and people still got jobs. I think unemployment went down just a little bit here in America, but people are still holding on to their jobs, and I guess that's what makes America great. But the real issue is that regardless of unemployment or whatnot, in these times, it is just difficult to sell anything. And when you coming off a red hot economy the way we were, I mean, stuff like this is going to happen. Microsoft is not going to sell as much because people are not going to be buying and stockpiling and all that other stuff. And I think this is just a natural progression on not just how the economy works, but on the video game industry. Sony is going through the same thing, if not worse, because of their business posture. Their business posture is basically finance. I mean, they borrow a lot of money. And don't get me wrong, Microsoft does too, but Microsoft doesn't have to borrow as much. As you can see, like today, if you own some Microsoft stock, your stock is flying high. Well, what's going on, Alex? Well, they're probably buying back a lot of their stock. And I'm not saying that there's not a boom for Microsoft. People are just happy that the economy's slowing because, let's just face it, I mean, that's part of the supply chain issue. I mean, people have jobs, they're able to go out and buy stuff and call their shots. Well, that's fine until everybody needs said item, like housing. I mean, it's hard to buy a house, and that was a lot of the problem because at one point in time it was easy to find and buy a house. So when it's in that type of situation, usually what happens is that, yeah, you may get that couple that's happy to get their first house, but really what happens is that the rich get greedy and they just buy up all the houses. They say, hey, these are cheap. Hey, interest rates is cheap. Financing is easy. I'm going to buy a bunch of houses so that in the lean times, y'all have to live at my house. And so that's just the way it is. And, you know, this ain't necessarily a course on economy or anything like that. It's just that we can analyze it to video games. I mean, what happened with video games? As soon as the new consoles came out, people started buying up a bunch of consoles. And when that happens, the people who want a console, who actually don't want to sell their console, the people who actually want to play the console, they get left out in the cold. And so slowing the economy down is not a bad idea, but there are side effects to everything. There's secondary effects. All of that stuff causes unemployment to go up, interest rates go up. So guess what? People aren't able to buy stuff like they used to, either because they just don't have a job, or that they probably getting less hours. Like someone who's probably working at Kroger's, I'm pretty sure they're not getting as many hours, or someone who works at McDonald's, they're not getting as many hours if you part-time, because the economy's contracting, so the businesses are contracting. So that's what it is. Interest rates go up, prices go up, and or at least financing goes up. But the real issue is that when you contract the economy, you actually want to bring a depression, or you want to actually make prices go down. So that could be beneficial to Sony and Microsoft, because you're hoping that there's not such a high demand for chips, which will bring the price down a whole lot. But without going to economic theory, that's what's going on. Of course, they're not talking about the Xbox gaming division. Why? Because it doesn't make that much money. Compared to the cloud and stuff like that, they've always been in the red. And you've got a little bit of that last summer when Epic was going through their trial and they brought all that stuff to light. I have been saying that, but the rumors are true. And Microsoft Xbox division doesn't make any money, but they don't have to, because they have other products that they sell that do make a lot of money. And Microsoft is in that position, but Sony is in a different position. They have to make money. They depend on their gaming division to make money. So anyway, this is just substantiate what I was just talking about yesterday. Congrats to Microsoft. Their stock today is going gangbusters, and I'm glad I bought some, because actually I was thinking they was going to have a good quarter as far as their Azure service and stuff. And at the end of the day, it was like, well, no, we didn't meet expectations. And don't get me wrong, they still made a large profit. I mean, anytime you make $50-something billion, you're going to make a huge profit. But I think what happens is they just didn't make the projected. Just like I talked about yesterday with Sony, they didn't make the projected, so it made them look bad. But people are smart enough to see through that, and Microsoft was able to buy some of their stock back, so everything's all good. So today Microsoft is up. I don't know how much it is. I think it's a little bit over $250 per share now, and that's awesome. So keep signing and cashing those checks, Microsoft. This is Al from Transformational Gaming, and may the truth set you free. Later.